So the first place I want to start today is the application. You might be thinking, hey, that's basic. I don't want to talk about that. But really, that's where the rubber meets the road. If you get this part of your journey correct, I can guarantee you a couple of things. Number one, you will be well informed as to what your options are as you move forward. Number two, you will not have heartache. You won't be stressed out. You won't feel like this process is beating you up because you will have followed this simple checklist. And then lastly, you'll be in a position to shop, to compare rates so that you can get the best rate scenario for you and your family for whenever the time is for you to pull the trigger. So don't tune out, pay attention. As you can see on the screen, before you apply, these are things that I recommend that you do. Number one, I want you to remove all credit freezes. And I didn't spell freeze correct. So for all of the grammar police that might be watching, it's okay. Did it on purpose. Trying to see if you're paying attention. Credit freezes, if you don't know what they are, that's for those of you that have gone out to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax and put a halt on anyone inquiring on your credit. And a lot of times when you do so, time passes on because you're not out borrowing money. You get ready to do an application, and then your lender has to get back with you and say, hey, can you remove the credit freezes? So if you have them, you know. If you don't, you can move on. But step number one, check that box. Reach out, remove that credit freeze. 30 days should be sufficient. It should suffice for you to be able to get a pre-approval. Once you're approved and you're seriously moving forward to buy and you're under contract, you might want to lift that for a 60-day period after that. Number two, if, on the other hand, you're someone who has had some credit challenges and things of that nature, and you've gotten the advice to dispute a lot of things, that's your prerogative. By law, you have the right to do so. But here's the deal. You want to make sure all disputes have come to some resolution before applying. They've been finalized, meaning that the creditor validated that you owed the debt, or the debt is going to be removed, what have you. But you want those disputes to be resolved. And the reason why is this. If not, you're going to get a false scoring of your three agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, depending on where the dispute lies. Because once you're in dispute, the agencies do not calculate your score while that's going on. So, number one, remove any freezes that you may have. Number two, make sure any disputes you have in process have been resolved. If you have collections and you are thinking about disputing, don't. Apply and let your lender guide you as to what it is that you need to do, because you may not have to do all of that. Number three, optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. Why? Because Experian loves selling your information. What happens is whenever a mortgage lender inquires on your credit, if it's a hard inquiry, we have the ability to do soft inquiries and hard inquiries. Just depends on the scenario. I digress. When they pull your inquiry, depending on income, credit score, purchase price, things of that nature, Experian then turns around and sells your data to folks that buy trigger leads. I would not do business with anybody that bought a trigger lead, because you do not know those folks, and there's some legislation out state by state and federally to get those things banished. But until then, what you want to do is you want to opt out. Go to optoutprescreen.com. You could do it electronically or physically. And in my opinion, you want to opt out for life. Trust me, these folks still find a way to send you garbage mail. But at minimum, you want to do it electronically, and that's for 5 years. And a benefit to that is I've noticed 10 to 15 point increases on the different agencies when people do that. So the reason you want to opt out is you don't want someone to sell your information when the lender that you know, like, and trust started the process, and then I get calls saying, hey man, my phone has literally rang 30 times in the last 2 minutes. What did you do? I didn't do anything. So please follow the step. Number 3, opt out pre-screen. Number 4, this is worth the video. Create a free online email, phone number, and storage. How might I do that? Well, if you use Google Gmail, you can get a free email account. And with that email account, you'll have a Google Drive. You can get access to Google Voice, which is a phone number. And I would set that up immediately, affectionately name it whatever you want to let you know what it is as far as your home purchase is concerned. But that way, you can isolate everything that's associated to you buying this home and this journey and this process. And then when it's done, you can delete it as a pro user tip. Okay, a lot of people won't go through it, but if you will, it's great. You also can start storing the documents that I'm going to mention here in step number 5 in that online folder and easily disseminate that information if you choose to shop. Okay, so step number 5 is you want to gather your documents. Gather your documents. Okay, I'm going to leave it 10,000 foot view at this time, but what documents am I talking about? Your proof of income. Okay, your most recent 30 days of pay stubs, however you're paid as far as the frequency. Once a month, 2 times a month, bi-weekly, or weekly. That's 4 of the most recent pay stubs. You want to gather the information that you need so that you don't have any issues. Income, assets, bank statements, investment account statements, 401k statements, anything that you're going to use for your down payment and or closing costs, or to show that you have cash reserves. Okay, you're going to need the most 2 recent months, and it's easiest to just download it as a PDF and put it in that online storage that I just mentioned. Taxes, you need the 2 most recent tax years, unless you're retired and you're on income where you're not filing, or some type of disability and you're not filing tax returns. You want to let your lender know, but generally your 2 most recent years, all schedules. Okay, and when I say all schedules, I'm talking about the federal version, your federal 1040s, and then if you have a partnership, 1065, your 1120 S, 1120Cs for your corporations, and the corresponding W-2s and or 1099s and or K-1s for the most recent 2 years. Okay, you want to gather that stuff up. And then number 6, you want to reach out. If you're employed by someone, you want to reach out to the HR department, the human resource department, and find the POC, the point of contact, and the instructions in which you need to give to your lender on how they can verify your employment, a written verification of employment. Here's the deal, guys. Long gone are the days where we take your word for anything, or my word. Why? Folks that came before us have figured out a way to scam the system. And so nobody believes anything. There has to be a third-party verification. We have to complete the loop, if you will. So when you send pay stubs, we're going to take those pay stubs and then we're going to go to the HR department. And most of these HR departments now are outsourcing that function to third-party vendors like the Work Number, so on and so forth. And only you can provide that information. So you might as well have it up front before you even apply. There's a lot of things that you could do before you submit that online application. And once you have these items, it's going to allow you to complete the application the first time, thus preventing a lot of back and forth with your lender. Woo! Don't let them fool you, man. You want to own if you can. And if you have some credit challenges, watch this video either here or here. Talk to you later. Peace.